Hi, how are you feeling today? Self-confidence is a feeling and a state of being that we all want to improve and maintain. Most of the time, we assume that the best sources of self-confidence and reassurance are from others, whether it's praise and acceptance from our loved ones or even complete strangers. That's why we often care too much about how we look, our achievements, how we act, and how we're perceived by others. In this practice, we're going to acknowledge the fact that a genuine sense of self-confidence cannot be provided by others, but only by ourselves. Self-confidence comes from our own perception of self-worth and how empowered and competent we feel in our lives. Thus, self-confidence can flourish by accepting our own selves just as we are and realizing our own value. Part of this involves noticing and letting go of the thoughts that make us feel incomplete, insecure, and insufficient. We will start this journey by looking back to the real nature of our thoughts, somewhere that we have visited before. See, 90 to 95% of the thoughts that appear in our minds during any given day are just reoccurring patterns that actually have nothing to do with reality. It's like there's someone else in our mind that captivates us. This person sets us apart from our own selves and drags us through these imaginary situations by using our thoughts. We can understand this more deeply as we continue to be witness to these thoughts. As you begin to perceive your own thoughts, you'll realize that it's as if we're listening to a third person speaking. And instead of living in these thoughts, we can find a place and peace in us where we can free ourselves from the pains that we're suffering. That's why, when you notice a thought, try to remind yourself that this is just a thought that has occurred in your mind many times. Watch that thought peacefully and without judgment, and realize that it's just a combination of some words that have repeated themselves over and over again before. So, why is this so important to understand? Well, because our self-confidence can be directly harmed and diminished by negative thoughts. Who do you think you are? You're not ready to do that yet. You've never been good at this. What a mess you're making of things. Yeah, we all know those thoughts. And it's time to detach ourselves from them and stop letting them take control of our actions. In this meditation, we're going to define those thoughts as we notice them. So when you notice a thought of criticism, just say criticism. When you notice a thought of expectation, just say expectation. When you notice you're judging yourself, call it out, say judgment. As we define thoughts, we can find out that most of them are actually old beliefs, criticisms, or judgments attacking us, and they usually occur automatically. So, let's get started. We're first going to try to find ourselves a comfortable seated positions, and you can either keep your eyes open or closed. And as you slowly start to get settled, just notice how your body feels in this moment. Release your shoulders, relax the jaw, and soften the belly. and slowly start to bring your attention to your breaths. As you do this, we're going to settle into this peacefulness of our naturally flowing breaths. Right now, you're as strong as a tree, as big and high as a mountain, and as calm as a pond. Notice the reasons why you chose this meditation specifically. In which parts of your life do you want to feel more self-confident? As these string of thoughts appear in your mind, put them aside gently and bring all of your attention to your breaths. Notice the thoughts and motions that appear in your mind as you watch your breath. Note that thoughts will always appear in our minds. That's the nature of them. Just remind yourself to stay with your breath. So when a thought appears in your mind, notice it, kindly describe it. Judgment, criticism, expectation, or regret. And when you define that thought, let it go gently. It will disappear slowly, the same way it appeared. It's like you're blowing bubbles and then gently blowing them away. Define, let it go, and gently come back to your breath. Keep your breath flowing. Inhale deep and slowly exhale. And very slowly, we'll bring this practice to an end. Begin to release the mind. Let it expand freely. You can open your eyes if they're closed, or you can start letting them wander around the room if they're open. Just after this short practice, notice how you feel. And ask yourself, which thought patterns appeared frequently during this practice? Maybe criticism, disturbing thoughts, judgment. By meditating every day, we'll begin to realize that these negative thoughts and criticisms that we tend to target at ourselves are actually not real. And thoughts that we realize are not real eventually lose their power, and in time, they're going to disappear. But your real strength will always be there. I want you to always remember this. I appreciate you joining our meditation today. I can't wait to see you tomorrow.